Lately, for many of us, there has been a heavy feeling as we realize a hero isn't coming. Maybe we feel it late at night as we think about institutions that took generations to build, being gutted by executive orders, or as we see civil rights protections rolled back, voting restrictions passed, and programs meant to level the playing field being labeled radical. And you're not alone if you have an almost childlike wish that someone, somewhere, will just step in and fix it all. A perfect leader, a brilliant plan, a solution that makes everything okay, like in the last 10 minutes of a movie. We watch the news reports, we read the headlines, and we wait for that turning point. But it rarely comes, and after a while, a deep, quiet hopelessness can settle over everything.
It makes me think about the stories we're all raised on. In books and in films, change is usually big, loud, and fast. The good guys win in a final, dramatic battle. We learn to recognize the shape of that kind of story, and without even realizing it, we start to look for it in our own lives, in our own world. Our online life can feel like this too. It shows us viral moments of protest that seem to erupt out of nowhere, sudden shifts in public opinion that happen overnight, and heroes and villains who are so clearly defined, so easy to cheer for or to boo. Our social media feeds give us a constant diet of drama, the shocking reveal, the triumphant comeback, the final word in an argument.
Unfortunately, most of the time, real, lasting change, the kind that actually makes a difference in our communities and our lives, isn't a single heroic event. It's slow, it's quiet, and honestly, it's frequently boring. It's not a thrilling battle on a bridge at midnight. It's attending a long community meeting in a stuffy room with bad lighting and weak coffee. It's not a brilliant speech that changes everyone's mind. It's reading dense, jargon-filled documents late at night to understand a new local policy, or making phone calls and filling out forms and then making more phone calls when you don't hear back. It's the unglamorous, repetitive, day in and day out work of building something, one small, ordinary piece at a time. Some things just don't work on internet time. Even if we can write a book in a month, that doesn't mean we'll change someone's deeply held beliefs in a month. Even if we can deliver our message to 1 million people instantly, that doesn't mean those 1 million people will hear it, really hear it, and immediately change their minds. Understanding takes time. Trust takes time. Real transformation, the kind that sticks, takes time. Personally, to help me keep this in mind, I find it helpful to think about watching one of those 2-minute time-lapse videos of a beautiful house being built. You see the wooden frame shoot up in seconds, the walls get painted in a single swipe, the windows pop into place, all set to inspiring, upbeat music. It looks easy and exciting, but if you've ever been through the actual process, you know it can take months. It's measuring boards and realizing you cut one an inch too short and have to start over. Hammering nail after nail after nail, day after day, whether you feel inspired or not. It's dealing with unexpected problems, with delays, with the sheer physical exhaustion of the work. The internet so often shows us the montage, but our lives are lived in real time.
This mismatch between the speed we see online and the speed of real life creates something painful inside us. When we expect the montage, the real work can be deeply disappointing. It can make us feel like we've failed, or like nothing we're doing is making a difference at all. We look at our one small action, one call to our representative, one difficult conversation, 1 hour of volunteering, and we compare it to the giant solved problem we see in the movies. We think, if there isn't a big, exciting, fast solution, then maybe there is no solution at all. And the online world keeps reinforcing this feeling. Everything is labeled urgent. Everything is breaking news. But when everything is breaking news, nothing really feels urgent anymore. Nothing can be solved, so we start to tune out. We get numb. The constant rush of information, all of it demanding our immediate reaction, leaves us exhausted and strangely disconnected from what actually matters. But again, the process of creating real change, of crafting a message that truly resonates, of building something meaningful,
That takes dedication. Sometimes weeks, sometimes months, sometimes years. A movement doesn't become powerful overnight, even if the internet makes it look that way. The people doing the work have usually been at it for a long while before anyone notices. The overnight success is almost always years in the making. This is part of what makes the current moment so difficult. For those of us who understand how long things actually take, when we see institutions that took generations to build being dismantled in months, we know what that means. We know that for every program cut quickly, it will take years, sometimes decades, to rebuild. For every protection rolled back, there will be a long, patient road to restoring it. It's a mismatch of timescales that's hard to sit with. Things break fast, and they repair very slowly. But this is also a reminder of why connection matters so much right now. Why it's important to find ways to engage with people who might not yet understand the full impact of what's happening. Why helping people see that they can be part of the solution matters for the long term. The repair work isn't just about policies and institutions, it's also about people understanding their own power. So, when it feels like we're stuck or not progressing, we have to remind ourselves that hope isn't something to wait for. It's something we actively create through our choices. Hope is an action. If we want a better future, we must build it like a muscle, through practice, through repetition, through showing up even when it's hard. In many cases, we won't see change after one day or even 1 week, but the slow, steady discipline of showing up and doing the work again and again is what makes us stronger. The feelings of sadness or fear or anger about the state of the world are real and they are valid. We need to acknowledge them and give them space. But our feelings are not always the full truth of the situation. It's important that we all keep perspective about what's really happening. The world online can make us feel incredibly powerless, like we're just an audience sitting in a dark theater watching a chaotic movie we can't control. The algorithms are designed to keep us watching, to keep us reacting, to make us feel like our only role is to boo or to cheer. But we are not just the audience. We are the builders. We are the gardeners. We are the organizers and the neighbors and the helpers. A better future isn't found in waiting for a hero to storm through the door. It's found in the small, consistent, and often boring actions we take together to build a world we can actually live in. It's found in the community meeting, in the awkward phone call, in the shared document, in the neighborhood potluck. It's found in the patience to let things unfold at their own pace, to trust that slow work is still work, that quiet progress is still progress. It may not feel like a movie, but it's real, and real is what we all need right now. Real takes time and dedication, and that's okay. Actually, that's more than okay. That's how it's supposed to be. Additionally, not all of us are built to be on the front lines. Some of us aren't made for protest marches or community organizing or knocking on doors. Some of us are quieter. Some of us work differently. The point isn't to do everything, it's to pick your thing, whatever that is, that helps you choose hope each day and show up for it. It might be civic work, yes. Volunteering, building community, making a difference in ways that are visible and public. But it might also be tending to your own soul. Taking care of yourself, creating something small that brings you hope. Because when you're steady, when you're okay, when you've chosen to work on something that makes even a little positive difference in your corner of the world, that steadiness ripples outward. Other people feel it, they see someone who hasn't given up, and it makes it a little bit easier for them to not give up either. So, to keep ourselves honest, let's just take a minute to talk about how we're applying this ourselves at This Online Life. Here's what I'm learning. Both from our own recent projects and from watching the world around us, the work that matters rarely announces itself as important while we're doing it. With The Beat, we're using AI to create music about news and events. The beat is more than music to us. It's a way to reconnect with the world. At a time when so many people feel overwhelmed and disengaged from the news, we're using music to cut through the noise. Each week, we're turning two important stories into songs that are easy to listen to share, and to feel. Our goals are simple. Remind people that they are worth fighting for. Give them a way to stay aware while building hope. And document history while creating a sense of community around the universal language of music. Our lyrics are crafted by humans, but our voices are trained, tuned, and textured with AI, allowing us to create meaningful songs at the speed of technology. In a world flooded with negativity, we're using these tools to turn news into something that inspires and connects. It's our way of showing that AI isn't just for the bad guys. It's a powerful tool for creating hope and inspiration when we need it most. Is that worth it? We think so. Not because the output feels proportional to the input, but because the act of showing up, day after day, to make something, even something small, is how we remember that we're not powerless. We're not just watching, we're making. And maybe that's the real lesson. We can choose to keep working on the things we care about, even when there is no guarantee that it will ever amount to anything. Even when nobody sees the hours behind the final version. Even when the progress is too slow to feel satisfying. We can learn new software even though it's frustrating. We can rewrite the prompt one more time. We can attend one more meeting, make one more call, have one more difficult conversation. Not because we're expecting dramatic results, but because this is what actively choosing hope looks like for us, personally, at this online life. Songs on the Beat will play for people who have no idea how complicated it was to make them. This podcast will reach people who don't know how many drafts came before, and that's okay. That's how it works. The montage version, the time-lapse version, the highlight reel, those are for sharing. But the real work, the daily showing up, the patient building, that's for us. That's where we find out what we're capable of. That's where we build the muscle of hope. So whatever you're working on, whatever small thing you're trying to build or change or improve, keep going. It's supposed to take longer than you think. It's supposed to feel too slow. It's supposed to look smaller than it felt while you were making it. That's not a sign that you're failing. That's a sign that you're doing real work, in real time, in the real world. And real is what we need. We're all connected in that way. When you choose hope, even quietly, even just for yourself, you make it easier for someone else to choose it too. And they make it easier for someone else. And slowly, without any dramatic moment, we build something real together. The world I want to live in, the world I'm building toward with every small choice, is one where civil rights protections are strengthened, not dismantled, where diversity isn't called radical, but celebrated as the strength it's always been, where voting is easier, not harder, where the institutions we've built over generations are protected and improved, not gutted overnight. I can't build that world alone. Neither can you. But together, when each of us tends to our small corner with steadiness, we create the conditions for that world to exist. Not all at once, not in a montage, but real and lasting. We become the heroes that we're waiting for. I'm Luma from This Online Life. Thanks for listening.